Good evening, all of you. So, last Saturday and Sunday, we had classes. Guys, anybody missed Saturday class? I have given the video in the Telegram group yesterday. Yesterday also we had the session. Saturday and Sunday, some important topics we discussed. Right. Can anyone tell me what we have learned in the Saturday and Sunday sessions? Can anyone tell me what we have learned in the Saturday and Sunday session?
Yeah. Hi, Ashok. This is Sukumar.
Yeah, hi, Sukumar. Could you please tell me what we discussed?
Yeah, on Saturday class, we discussed about what are different types of instances like on-demand and reserved instance.
Okay.
And what about what is meant by on-demand instance and what is the base of it? Like when we need to generate bill, this and all we learn. And we studied about reserved instance and also spot instance and dedicated host instance.
Okay, so we discussed about the spot instances, on-demand instances, reserved instances, spot instances, and dedicated host instance. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of on-demand instance? What is the meaning of on-demand instance? Can anyone tell me what is on-demand instance, guys?
Yes, sir. I'm Harish here.
Yeah, hi, Harish.
Yes, sir. So on-demand instance means fixed price will be there in the on-demand instance.
Okay.
And price will be based upon hourly basis.
Okay.
And here we don't have any commitment with AWS, like how many instances we are using and how many hours we are going to use these things and all. We don't have any commitment.
Okay.
And we don't need to be pay any prior payment in on-demand instances, and no predictable usage in this one.
Okay, so no predictable usage for the on-demand instances. So whenever you need, you are going to create that instance and you are going to use that instance. In our course, what instances we are using?
On-demand instances.
We are using what instances in our course?
On
In
demand.
our course, we are using on-demand instances. We are going to EC2 dashboard and we are creating on-demanded instances. Okay, when to go for a reserved instance? When to go for a reserved instance, guys?
So if we have long-term commitment, then we will go to reserved instance.
Whenever you want a long-term commitment from the AWS, I want the instances for 1 year or I want the instance for 3 years. When you have such kind of long-term commitment, then you will go for reserved instances. Okay, yes. Fine. So when you go for on-demand instance, you don't need to do any prior payment. But if you go for reserved instance, for 1 year, you have to pay the amount in advance. So yeah, daily, I mean, what is the minimum billing period that AWS is going to consider, guys?
1 hour.
Minimum it is going to consider 1 hour. Right. If you want to use the instance on reserve, if you want to reserve the instance for 1 year, then what you have to do? You have to pay the amount for 1 year usage. You have to pay the amount for the 1 year usage. So you can take the reserved instance for 1 year and the second category 3 years. You can go for either 1 year or you can go for the 3 years when you want to go for reserved instance. Next one is, what is a spot instance? What is a spot instance? Bidding. So whenever AWS is providing the high configuration machine for the cheap price, they are going to do the bidding. Multiple people will participate in the bidding. Whoever will give the more money, AWS will give the instance for that person. So that is a spot instance. Now, what is the meaning of dedicated host instance, guys? What is the meaning of dedicated host instance?
Physical.
You want AWS to maintain a separate computer for your requirement. It is dedicated for your business. Nobody else can use it. It is dedicated for you.
License based.
License based if you want to use. License based if you want to use for your requirement, then you can go for dedicated host. Dedicated host machines are much costlier than the remaining instances. Dedicated hosts are much costlier than the remaining instances. You understand my point? Now, after that, instance types, we discussed about instance families. So do you know instance families available in the AWS, guys?
Yes, sir.
Do you know instance families available in the AWS? There are several families available in the EC2. Okay, general purpose, memory based, CPU based, GPU, network based, like that. There are several families are available. Can you tell me in our training which family member we are using?
General instance.
General instances. What is the name of the general instance we are using in our course?
T2.micro.
T2.micro. Why we are using T2.micro in our course? Why not other instances?
It's free.
T2.micro is the free tier instance. T2.micro is the free tier instance. How many days it is free? How many days it is free?
720 hours per month.
750 hours, 750 hours per month and 1 year.
1 year.
1 year is free. When you create an account in the AWS, you can use it for 1 year and monthly you can use it for 750 hours. 750 hours you can use it. So that we discussed in the Saturday session. And what we discussed in the Sunday session yesterday? What we discussed in the yesterday session?
All the view under the EC2 like global view, AMI, like that.
AMI, exactly. We discussed about AMI. Can anyone tell me what is AMI in the AWS?
Amazon machine image.
Snapshot of the or copy of the operating system is called the AMI.
Exactly. AMI nothing but Amazon machine image. So what is the purpose of AMI? AMI nothing but pre-configured system. Can I say that AMI is a pre-configured machine, pre-configured OS?
Yes.
So AMI nothing but pre-configured OS. Now we are launching EC2 instances. Are we taking one empty box or we are taking a box with operating system in the AWS?
Box with operating system.
We are taking a box with operating system. That means, can I say that AWS is having some computers which are ready with operating systems?
Yes.
Sir, please share the screen.
Yes, sir. It is interaction session, man. I'm not showing you anything. I'm just revising the things we discussed in the last 2 sessions. Okay. There is nothing that I can show you on the screen, man. Got it?
Yes.
Right. Now, can you tell me what is the AMI, guys? Can you tell me what is the AMI? AMI stands for Amazon Machine Image. Amazon Machine Image. So, do you have any machines? Do you have any machines in the Amazon? Do we have any machines in the AMI, or we don't have any machines in the AWS?
Several images.
There are several images are already available in the AWS. There are several images are already available in the AWS. Now, when you go for instances, what is happening? When you go for instances, what is happening? There are several predefined images providing by the AWS. There are several images providing by the AWS. By using those images, we are launching EC2 instances. By using those images, we are launching our EC2 instances. Now, I have taken one computer with the Linux operating system. In that, I have installed several servers, several softwares I have installed. Do I need to do everything once again to set up that, or can I create an image for that?
Create an
image for that. So what is the advantage if I create an image for that?
Save the time. Save the time.
So quickly I can set up my machine. Quickly I will set up the machine. Quickly I'm going to set up the machine. Now, can we create our own images in the AWS?
Yes.
Can we create our own images in the AWS? Yes.
Yes.
Once we create the image, what is the default scope of the image? Once we create the image, what is the default scope of the image, guys, in the AWS?
Private.
Private. That means other users can access our images, or other users cannot access our images.
Cannot access.
Other users cannot access our images. How can we allow the others can access your image?
Using security group.
No.
Make it as public.
Making it public.
Now, whenever we create an image, yes, when we create an image, our image will be in the private state. That means only you can use your image. You go to your AMIs. In the AMIs, you can see what are the images that you have created. By using that image, you can launch your instance. But whatever the image I have created, I have taken one computer. I have taken one machine. In that, I have installed web server. I installed MySQL database. I installed Jenkins. I installed Docker. So do you think that somebody in this Mumbai region can have the same requirement? Yes. Taking a Linux machine with a web server, Jenkins, MySQL, Docker. Instead of they are setting up their computer from the starting, they can reuse my image. If I want to give my image for the others, then I need to make my image as a public. Now tell me, images are global, images are region based.
Region based.
Images are region based. If I create an image and if I make my image as a public, who can see my image in the AWS? The people who belongs to Mumbai region can see my images. Because currently I am operating the AWS from which region? Mumbai region. Mumbai region. Right. Whatever the images I am going to create, those images also will be belongs to Mumbai region. Those images also will belongs to Mumbai region. Are you clear with this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, so once you create the image, that will be in the private state. You can make it as a public so that other users belongs to the same region can access your image. By using this image, they can launch the EC2 instance. That means it is a pre-configured machine. We are going to create the images for the pre-configured machines. We can reuse the image, we can set up. In the AWS, there are several images available. By using those images, we are launching our EC2 instances. Okay. And after that, we discussed about EBS. Can you guys tell me what is the EBS, guys?
Elastic block storage.
Elastic block store. Now, why we need to go for this EBS in the AWS? Why we need to go for EWS? Why we need to go for EBS? Guys, the thing is, whenever we launch one EC2 instance with a Linux AMI, we are going to get by default 8 GB space. How much space we are going to get by default? By default, we are going to get the 8 GB space. And whatever the 8 GB space that we are getting, is it a permanent storage or is it a temporary storage?
Permanent.
Arey Baba.
For EBS temporary, permanent, sir.
Temporary.
Whenever I create whenever I create an instance, what is the default size I am going to get, guys?
8 GB for Linux.
8 GB.
8 GB. That 8 GB I can use to store the data. That 8 GB space is a permanent space for me, or it is a temporary space for me? Temporary space only, na. That is an instance store, na. It is a temporary. If my instance is available, that space will be available. If I terminate my instance, it's simple, man. You guys are getting confused.
You can create an
now you see, I have taken one instance. Now, how much space is available in my instance, guys? Can you tell me how much space I have this instance? 8 GB space available. Can I store the data into my instance?
Yes.
I will connect to this instance by using putty. I will connect to this EC2 by using putty. I can store the data. 8 GB data. I have stored one movie. 2 movies I have stored. 4 GB, 2 movies I have stored. Then I came here and I have terminated my instance. Instance state terminate instance. When I terminate the instance, what will happen?
It will delete the memory.
Memory will completely machine got deleted. Machine got deleted. So are you going to have those movies in that machine? No. Machine is deleted. So it is a temporary storage or it is a permanent storage?
Temporary storage.
Come on, guys, where is that energy? Am I asking the things which I have not explained, or I am asking the questions from the concepts which we discussed in the class?
Which we discussed.
Then you should be very proactive to answer these questions, guys, because we already learnt it. I'm revising.
Yes.
I'm revising these concepts. See here how quickly I'm able to revise the concepts. You should also have that perfection in the subject. Then only you can crack the interview. Whatever the questions I have asked, what is the default space? What is EBS? Okay, what is AMI? AMIs can be used in another region. These all are certification questions only. Small questions, which are very important for the certification of the AWS. Got it? Now, so whenever we create an image, whenever we create an instance, we are going to get the by default 8 GB space under the free tier. Right? But 8 GB space is a temporary space. Whatever the data you store, that is temporary storage. Whatever the data you store, that is a temporary storage. If you terminate your instance, you are going to lose your data. Okay. Is there any solution that I can store my data permanently?
Yes.
That's where EBS comes into picture. That's where EBS comes into picture. EBS nothing but what? Elastic block store. Elastic block store. This is called additional volume that we can create. EBS nothing but additional volumes we can create to store our data. How much space, how much data we can store in the EBS, guys? What is the max capacity?
16 TB.
16 TB. What is the max capacity of the EBS volume?
16
16 TB. What is the max capacity? 16 TB. But are we paying the money for AWS? We are using AWS under free tier.
Up to 30 GB.
We are using the AWS under free tier. We are using AWS under free tier. Under free tier usage, how much space you can use from the EBS volume?
30
30 GB. 30 GB is free of cost in the EBS. 30 GB of space you can use to store the data under EBS. If you pay the money, how much space they will give you in the EBS? 16 TB. 16 TB they are going to give you. 1 TB nothing but how many GBs?
1000.
1000 GB.
1000 GB.
1024.
1024 GB is nothing but 1 TB. So now they are giving 16 TBs. That means 16,000 GBs data. Do you really have that much data? Come on, guys. Our computers will be maximum 500 GB or 1 TB. Yes or no? 1 TB. 1 TB. 1 TB. Some systems are 500 GB. Some systems are 1 TB. But AWS EBS giving you how much space? 16 TB. 16 TB nothing but 16,000 GB data you can store in your EBS volume. How beautiful it is. So now, can I say AWS is providing storage capacity for us?
Yes.
Can I say AWS is providing storage capacity?
Yes.
What is that storage capacity? EBS.
EBS.
Elastic Block Store. Elastic Block Store. Now tell me, EBS or global? EBS is global or EBS is region specific?
Region.
No, EBS are region specific.
Region specific.
EBS is region specific. If you create a EBS volume in the region, you can attach that volume to the EC2 instance which is available in the same region. Are you able to understand what they are telling here? You currently have no volumes in this region. So do you know how to create a volume in the EBS, guys? Do you know how to create a volume in the EBS? Create volume. Now, when you are creating the volumes, do you have some types in the EBS or we don't have some types in the EBS?
We have types in the EBS.
We have types in the EBS. What are the types available? General purpose.
General purpose volume.
General purpose volumes available. Provisioned IOPS volumes are available. Cold volumes are available. Throughput volumes are available. Magnetic volumes are available. Magnetic volumes are available. When to go for provisioned IOPS? High performance. High performance. They will give you space from 4 GB minimum to maximum 16 TB. When to go for throughput volumes? When to go for throughput volumes?
Frequently
Random
accessed
usage.
data.
If you want to store the data, and you want to access the data very frequently. You want to store the data in the volume and you want to access the data very frequently. Then you will go for provisioned. So throughput. Provision means high performance, very costly. Provisioned volumes are costly volumes, guys. Minimum 4 GB, maximum 16 TB. You see here, they are giving this here. When you go for general purpose, minimum what? 1 GB. Maximum
16 TB.
16,000 GB. That means 16 TB. Okay. If you go for provision, what is the minimum capacity?
4
GB. What is the maximum? 16 TB. If you go for cold, minimum
120.
500 GB, 16 TB.
125 GB.
125 GB minimum, maximum 16 TB. If you go for throughput, 125 GB minimum, and 16 TB maximum. If you go for magnetic,
1 GB.
1 GB to
minimum,
1 TB.
1 GB, 1 TB maximum. This magnetic is the standard one, which is outdated. They may ask in the interview, how many types of volumes are available in the EBS? How many types of instances are available in the EC2? Are you guys getting my point?
Yes.
These all are certification questions, guys. And they will ask in the interview also, how many types of EC2 instances are available? How many types of EBS volumes are available? Why we need to go for EBS volume? Why we need to go for EBS volumes in the EC2? I mean, in the AWS, when you will go for EBS volumes,
For to store data permanently.
if you want to store the data permanently, if you want a permanent storage in the AWS, then you can go for EBS. In the EBS, you can create the volumes. Volumes are we going to attach to EC2? Volumes we are not going to attach to EC2. Volumes we are going to attach to EC2 to store the data. Once I attach a volume to the EC2, if I delete the EC2 instance, am I going to lose my data or I am not going to lose my data?
Not going to lose it.
Am I
Not
going to
going
lose
to
my
lose
data? I'm not going to lose my data. I'm not going to lose my data once I store the data in the EBS volume. For permanent storage capacity only, we are going for the volumes. Now, guys, can you tell me, can I create one volume today? Can I create one volume today?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, create a volume. I'm going for general purpose volume, 100 GB. But what is the max capacity we have? 30 under free tier. I'm going for 10 now. In which availability zone?
1A.
South 1A. South 1A. Do you want to encrypt or not? You can select this add tags, click on create volume. Now, can I create my EBS volume 1? My EBS volume 1. I have given some name for the volume. Okay. Now, volume is created, guys. Volume is created. Volume state is okay. The volume is encrypted. The volume is not encrypted. Volume is not encrypted.
Not encrypted.
Not encrypted. Go to EC2. How many instances I have in the EC2? Two instances are there. Those instances are running, or those instances are not running currently? Those instances are not running currently. Can you see the state of the instance? Stopped. If the instance state is stopped, they will consider for the billing, or they will not consider for the billing?
No billing.
No billing.
No billing.
No billing. Those instances will not be considered for the billing.
No
Those
billing.
instances will not be considered for the billing. Okay. Now, can you help me? Can you help me? I want to attach my volume to the EC2. I want to attach my volume to the EC2. Can you help me, guys? I want to attach my volume to the EC2. Can you tell me?
Go to the volumes and click on that volume and write
Actions.
Add
Click on instance.
the
Go to
instance.
storage.
Action. No, not here. I want to attach a volume to the instance.
Volume in
सर
volume.
इंस्टेंस को रन
Go to
करना
storage.
पड़ेगा.
Is it mandatory to run the instance to attach a volume?
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now tell me, I want to attach a volume to the instance. Then can you tell me the steps? I forgot it. Can you guide me to attach a volume to the instance?
Click on volumes on the Elastic Block Store.
Go to volumes, selected the volume, successfully volume is created. We have the volume ready.
Yeah, go to
Actions.
Go to actions. Go to actions.
Need to start the instance first.
I think create a snapshot.
No. I have not discussed anything about snapshot.
We need to start an instance so that we can.
Is it mandatory to start the instance?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
it is
ठीक है.
mandatory.
चलो start करेंगे. Instance, action, sorry, instance state, start the instance. I'm running this. Fail to start the instance, does not have a volume attached, a root. Okay, the root volume is deleted for this. I can't start this. Okay, now instance state, start the instance. Wow. Instance does not have a volume attached to root x dev xda. Guys, I think, one second. Yesterday, when I'm deleting the volumes, I have deleted the root volumes also. That is the reason I'm facing this problem. Okay. Can I delete my instances and can I create the new instance now?
Yes, sir.
Can I terminate the instance now?
Yes.
Yes. Terminate my instance. One instance, second instance also is available. And instance state and terminate my instance. Okay. Cool. My instances are terminated and go to volumes. I want to terminate this volume also. Delete volume. Delete the volume. Now tell me, in my EC2 dashboard, in my EC2 dashboard, do I have any instances running?
No.
No.
Do I have any instances running? I don't have any instances running. Do I have any elastic IPs? We don't know what is elastic IP. That is our tomorrow's topic. And do I have any key pairs?
No.
Yes, one.
Yes,
One
one
key
key
pair.
pair.
One key.
If I have a key pair, will it consider for billing?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Will
No.
not consider for billing. Any placement groups? No.
No.
Any snapshots?
No.
Any dedicated host?
No.
Instances? Instances? Two.
Start
Two are
instance
terminated.
But those two instances are available or they are terminated already? Those instances are terminated. Once I log out and log in, those will be removed. Do I have any load balancer?
No.
No. Do I have any security group?
Yes.
20 security, default security groups are available.
Default.
Predefined security groups and user defined security groups are available. If I have a security groups, will it be part of the billing?
No, sir.
No, part of the, not part of the billing. Do I have any volumes? No volumes. Now, so my account is completely fresh now, empty. My account is completely fresh and my account is empty. Can you tell me, I want to launch one EC2 instance now?
Yes.
Yeah, quickly, can we launch an instance? Launch instance. Launch the instance. What I need to do first now? What I need to do first now?
Choose the AMI.
AMI. Now, do you know what is AMI now?
Yes.
Amazon.
Image. What is the meaning of image now? There are several machines already available with some softwares. Now, which AMI I am going to use? Amazon Linux AMI. Amazon Linux AMI. Why I am going for Amazon Linux? This is a machine which is having a Linux operating system. Do you want me to take an empty machine or you want me to take a machine with Linux OS?
With machine with Linux OS.
Machine with Linux OS.
Linux.
Linux OS. Click on select. So once I have selected this, what is the next step?
Instance type.
Instance type. So do you have several families here?
Families.
Yes, sir.
Several families are available or not?
Yes.
Several families are available. Now, which family we are using?
T2.micro. General
T2
instance.
micro.
General instances I'm using, and in the general instance I'm using T2 micro. Why I am going for T2 micro?
It's free.
T2 micro is a free time eligible, na? You
Yes.
can use it 12 months free and 750 hours per month. 750 hours per month. How many virtual CPUs attached to that T2 micro?
Only one.
One instance storage. What is the instance storage? EBS.
EBS.
EBS. Root volume is coming. What is the root volume? EBS root volume is coming. Okay.
In companies, which type of instance you will choose?
Yeah, you can use micro also, man. No problem. You can use anything. Micro. Also.
Based on your equipment.
If you want a high-end machine, then you can go for C family. High-end machines are there.
In real time, which ones do we use, sir?
It's depend on your website application and load.
Sir, in my project, we are using T2 micro.
Oh.
Yeah. Right? Yes, right. T2 micro. Now, what is the volume we are getting? EBS volume. Guys, by default, we are getting some volume. Can we call that volume as a root volume?
Yes.
Can we call it as a root volume?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes or no? What is the default capacity of the root volume?
8 GB.
8 GB.
8 GB.
8 GB. 8 GB. How much RAM we are getting?
1 GB.
1
1
GB.
GB. How many CPUs we are getting?
1.
One CPU.
One CPU. Are you getting? So first point is choose the AMI. Second one is choose the instance type. I'm choosing general instance T2 family T2.micro. T2 family, which is belongs to general category, and the family member T2 micro, one virtual CPU, 1 GB RAM, root volume EBS with 8 GB I am going to get. So that is the instance type I have selected. Next, configure instance details, number of instances. How many instances we want?
1.
One. Do you want to go for spot instances?
No.
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 Do you want to go for, if you select this checkbox, what will happen? Bidding.
Showing
Bidding will happen.
reasons.
Now, network by default, EC2 instance we are getting. Are they providing network for our instance? They are not providing any network for our instance.
They will provide.
They are providing a network. They're providing a network. So by default, when VPC is available, VPC stands for Virtual Private Network. And subnets, are we using any subnet currently? We are not using any subnet. We don't know what is subnet as of now. Leave it. Auto assign public IP. Enable or disable. Guys, now, when we are creating the EC2 instance, we are getting a public IP. That public IP is a dynamic IP, guys. Whatever the IP, whenever I create the instance, I'm getting one public IP. If you restart the EC2, that IP will change. So what is the default behavior of the public IP? Dynamic. When you restart your instance, the IP is going to change. Are you able to understand?
Yeah.
Now,
We
can
can
we-
disable that option, right, sir? Because
Yes,
we
yes.
anyway we connect it to the load balancer, right? So we
Right,
don't
sir.
need that.
We don't need that. We can disable. I'm telling you the concept, man.
Okay.
I'm telling you the concept. Now, so auto assign public IP. Whenever you create the EC2 instance, one IP address is coming. That public IP is a static IP, or the public IP is a dynamic IP.
Static.
Dynamic.
Static
Dynamic.
Dynamic.
Dynamic IP. What is the meaning of the dynamic IP? Whenever you restart your instance, the IP address is going to change. Can we have a static IP? That is called elastic IP. That is called elastic IP. That is our tomorrow's topic. Okay, forget about it. Now, host name type, IP name. Use subnet IP name. We are using host DNS name. Enable resource based DNS name. That's fine. Placement group. We don't know what is the placement group. Capacity region. I'm not using anything. Domain join directory. I'm not using anything. IAM role.
No.
Now, do you know what is IAM as of now? Identity access management. We don't know. Shutdown behavior. Stop and terminate. Whenever you want to shut down, you just want to stop it. Stop hibernate behavior. Enable termination protection. Monitor. Do you want to monitor that instance? CloudWatch. Additional charges apply. If you go for CloudWatch, additional charges apply. So I'm unchecking. I'm not selecting that checkbox. Don't select anything, guys. Just we are going with the default details. Okay. Now, yes, sir.
What is the shutdown behavior? And
shutdown behavior means whenever you stop the instance, do you want to just stop it? You want to terminate it?
Okay, got it.
You got it, huh? Right. Now, here there is an option called user data, guys.
Yes,
now, what is user data?
We can give commands like the bootstrapping.
Bootstrapping commands, right? Whatever the script you write in the user data, whenever you start that instance, those scripts are going to execute. Whenever you provide some script in the user data, whenever you restart the EC2, those commands are going to execute. If your instance is a Linux instance, you configure the shell scripting. If your instance is a Windows instance, then you will configure PowerShell. Are you getting my point? So here in the user data, you can provide some scripting. In the user data, you can provide some scripting. So when the script is going to execute?
When the machine starts.
When the machine starts. When the machine starts, that script is going to execute. Now, can I write a script here to install Apache server?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can I write a script here to launch one static website?
Yes.
That kind of user data you can provide here. Okay. Next one, go to add storage. Oh, now see here, guys. Can you read this? What is add storage now? Can you read this? What is add storage now?
Here install launch with the following storage device we can access.
Can you read this? What is add storage?
You can add additional EBS.
Currently one EBS is coming or not?
No, sir.
No.
We can add volume.
No.
Root volume.
Root volume is already coming. Root volume is also a EBS or not?
Yes.
What type of root volume is coming?
GP2.
General purpose. How much is size they are giving us?
8 GB.
8 GB. Can I say volume type as a root? Yes. Now, root volume is available. Your instance will be launched with the following storage device setting. You can attach additional EBS volumes and instance store volumes to your instance or edit the settings of the root volume. You can also attach additional EBS volumes after launching an instance, but not instance store volumes. Learn more about storage options in the Amazon EC2. Okay. Now they're telling that you can add additional volume or you can customize root volume also. Can I customize the root volume from 80 to 100?
Yes,
then
sir.
what will happen?
It will generate.
By default, what is that? 8. Can I add additional volume?
Yes, we can add
Yes,
up to
we
30
add.
GB.
By using
EBS. Now see here, the device is, the path of the device is different. The path of the device is the same. Different. Now see, observe it, guys. Observe it. Now you may get a doubt. Ashok, when we launch an instance, we are getting some root volume. We are storing the data in the root volume. Root volume is a temporary volume. Whenever we restart, whenever we terminate the instance, we are going to lose the data. What is the path of the root volume in the Linux machine? /dev/xvda. By default, when you store the data into the EC2 instance, it will be stored in this path, guys. You understand my point now?
Yes.
When you connect to the putty to the EC2 instance, if you store the data into the EC2 instance, the data will be stored into which path? /dev/xvda. So this can I say this path is a root volume path?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I say this is a root volume path?
Yes.
This path is a temporary path, or this path is a permanent path?
Temporary path.
This path is a temporary path. Why it is called temporary path?
Whenever restarted machine, it will
No. If you restart the machine, no problem, sir. If you restart the machine, no problem.
If we terminate, that will delete.
If you terminate, the root volume will be deleted. Now, I have a requirement. Even if I terminate my instance, I don't want to lose my data. मैं क्या करना?
EBS.
Go for EBS.
We need
Go
to go for
EBS. We need to go for EBS. Add a new volume. What is the volume I'm adding? EBS. EBS stands for what? Elastic block store. Now, what is the path of the additional volume in my system? /dev/SDB. So in the Linux machine, you have to set the default path as /dev/SDB. Then you can store the data into EBS volume. If you store the data into this path, that means you are storing the data into, come on guys, temporary volume. If you want to store the data permanently in the EBS, then what should be your path?
/dev/SDB.
You need to get this question, man. Sir, you are attaching the volume to the, you are attaching EBS volume to the EC2. How to differentiate that? Whether my data is storing into the default volume or my data storing into additional volume. That difference is there according to this path. If your Linux machine is storing the data in this path, that means it is storing in the root volume. This is associated with the instance. When you restart the instance, this volume will be deleted. If you don't want to delete the data, then you need to change the path to /dev/SDB. Then your data will be stored to EBS volume. EBS volumes are the permanent storage.
Sir,
EBS volumes are the permanent storage. Yeah.
Sir, without root, we cannot add additional data volumes.
No, root is mandatory. By default, it will come. If you want additional space, then you go for EBS. You understand my point?
Yes.
Now, so how you will differentiate that? Whether your data is storing in the root volume or your data storing in the additional EBS volume?
Using path. Through path.
Device path will be available. That point you have to understand. Okay, guys. Now,
so we need to give device path in putty while doing something, or what?
Exactly. We need to set the device path in the putty.
Okay.
You understand my point now?
So
hold on, guys. Now, hold on. So you understand what is the meaning of root volume in the EC2 now?
Yes.
So what is the root volume in the EC2?
Temporary storage.
That is associated with the instance or not?
Yes.
That is associated with the instance or not?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is associated with the instance. That means the data is storing into root volume by default. What is the path of the root volume? What is the device path of the root volume? /dev/xvda is the root volume. Okay, let's leave it. Now, I'm not adding any additional volume for time being. So by default, your data will be stored to which volume? Root volume. Root volume is a permanent volume, or root volume is a temporary volume?
It is temporary volume.
Temporary volume. If I terminate my instance,
Data loss.
Data loss. How can I store the data permanently? Additional volume. Additional volume. What is the additional volume? EBS. The path of the root volume, path of the additional volume same, or the path will be different?
Different.
Path will be different. Then how you can store the data to EBS volume in the EC2?
We can set the path during the boot.
We need to set the path.
Yes.
Are you able to understand?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If I store the data into EC2 directly, where it will store? root volume.
Root part.
What is the path of the root volume? /dev/xvda. If I want to store the data into EBS volume,
/dev/sdb.
This is the path. That is the assignment for you today. How to store the data into EBS volume through putty. Samjha?
Oh.
Yes.
You got my point now.
Yes, sir.
Most of the people who are teaching the AWS, they will tell you EBS is there, which is used to add the external volume. But students will not know how the data will be stored into EBS, how to store the data into EBS. There is a small concept called device path, which will differentiate whether you are storing the data to the root volume or the EBS volume.
Yes.
You got my point?
Yes, sir.
Come on. Fine. What is the max capacity that you can go for the EBS?
30.
Free type 30. Free type 30. If you are paying the money in the company,
16 TB.
16 TB.
16 TB. 16 TB, nothing but 16,000 GB data you can store in the EBS, man. That means, can I say AWS is providing a storage capacity for us?
Yes, sir.
To explain you this concept only, I have deleted my root volume. That's the reason my instance was not able to start. Can you start your instance without root volume?
Yes. No,
sir. It is default value type.
By default, if you want to start one EC2 instance, one default volume is required, which is creating by AWS. When that default volume will be created, the default volume is called as a root volume. Whenever you launch a instance, then by default the root volume is creating. Can I delete this root volume? Is there an option to delete?
No, sir.
No option. It is mandatory to have a root volume, guys. It is mandatory to have a root volume. Do you know path of the root volume? /dev/xvda. /dev/xvda. Got it?
Sir, sir, can I ask some doubt?
Yes, sir.
Sir, there will be so many servers, right? When we are working in real time.
Yes.
How can we connect each server to the EBS, or are we going to connect the load balancer directly to the EBS?
Load balancer, we will not connect to the EBS. Servers will be connected to the load balancer. EBS will be connected to the instance. Instance will be connected to the load balancer.
Okay, sir. If there are 1,000 servers, how we are going to
1,000 instances? 1,000 instances will be available. 1,000 instances will be available. Whatever the EBS volume you have to attach that EBS volumes to the 1,000 instances. 1,000 instances you have to attach to the load balancer.
So the 1,000 instances, is it possible to attach once, sir?
Yes, you can attach all the things at a time.
While creating load balancer,
while creating the load balancer, it is asking to select the instance names, na?
Yeah.
So you have to select all the 1,000 instance names, then you have to attach it.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah.
Yep. Right. So guys, is it clear with?
Yes.
Are you guys clear with what is root volume? What is additional volume?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Root volume is temporary. Additional volume is permanent. Very good. Next one. Good. Are you clear with the choose EMI, choose instance type, configure instance, and add storage?
Yes.
Now, am I going with any additional volume, or I'm going with the default volume called root volume?
Default volume.
Default volume.
Root
Volume
volume.
called root volume. Click on tags. What is the purpose of tags?
For searching and filtering purpose.
Giving name convention.
Naming convention,
Yes.
filtering purpose, you can go for the tag. I'm not giving any tag, that's not mandatory. Chalo. Next one, security group. Wow, security group. Can you tell me what is security group? Can you tell me what is security group?
To control the traffic towards our EC2 instance.
It is something like a firewall. It is something like a firewall. Who can access our EC2? We can define that in the security group. There are several security groups are already available default. Can I create our own security group also?
Yes.
Yes,
I
sir.
have created my own security group, which is called my Linux security group. What are the protocols I'm enabling in my security group?
HTTP and
HTTP and SSH. Why HTTP? Why SSH?
Website and for
SSH for
To
Linux.
connect to the instance.
I'm starting a Linux instance, right? If I want to connect to the Linux instance, I need to have a SSH protocol open. Then only by using putty, I can connect to that Linux machine. Why I am going for HTTP?
By using some web browser, we can able to connect our server.
Exactly. If you want to start any web server, and if you want to run any web application, if the outside people want to access our web server, then we need to have a HTTP port. Can you tell me what is a web server? Why we need web servers?
To launch the deploy application.
To run our application, web
To
application.
run the web applications, we need to have a web server. Can you tell me examples of any web server example? Apache. Apache is one of the web server, right? That we are using to run our web application. Okay, right. Now, there are so many servers are available. Apache is one of the famous web server which is used to run the web application. Now, how many protocols I'm opening, guys? Two protocols. These are called as what? Inbound rules, inbound protocol. So anybody who is using SSH protocol can access my EC2. Who is using HTTP protocol can access my EC2. HTTP port number is 80. SSH port number is 22. Okay. When to go for RDP port? When to go for RDP port?
If it is Windows host, then we need to go for RDP.
If it is Windows machine, then we need to go for RDP port. What is the port number for RDP?
3389.
3389. What is the port number for HTTPS?
443.
443. You need to remember these port numbers, guys. They will ask these questions in the interview. Maybe in the certification also this question will come.
Sir,
What is the
here,
port number?
here how to add IP address range?
You can add it, sir. You can add it. Here, whenever you are going for security group, now we can customize that security group. This is already created, na? Okay. You can go to security group and you can edit that. You can edit that and you can add the IP. I will talk about that.
00 means all traffic clear, sir.
Sorry?
00.
Your voice is very loud.
My voice is very low, huh?
No, sir. Who is asking question that guy?
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
00, this means all traffic clear.
All traffic, sir. All traffic. We are opening the gate for everybody.
That is not good for us in real time.
Yeah, we are opening. No, sir.
No, for HTTP it's required.
For HTTP it's required. Can you decide who is going to access your web application?
No.
Can you know the IP address of the people who will access your web application?
No.
No. Then what you need to do? 00. That means everybody.
Yes.
Anybody. Now, can you think that?
Actually, when I work for insurance project, that time they mentioned some port range, sir. In my
I understand that, sir. I will come to that point. Now, simple example. Facebook project is there. Now, Mark Zuckerberg is the owner. Does that Mark Zuckerberg knows that who is going to access the Facebook application? Can they configure the range of the IP addresses?
No.
No, sir.
For HTTP, you cannot decide that range, right? You are giving 00. That means everybody can access.
Sir, I think he is asking for SSH.
For SSH, you can configure the range. That means I don't want everybody connect to my EC2. I will give some specific IPs. Only those people can connect to my EC2.
Yes.
By using putty. Got it? That's where you can configure the ranges.
Okay.
Currently, we don't know about the IPs. How many types of IPs, IP ranges? That's why I'm not talking about that. In the coming classes, we'll talk about the IPs and IP ranges. Then we can configure the particular range for the particular protocol. We will filter the traffic by using IP ranges. Come on, guys. Yeah. So now you understand why we are going for security group?
Yes, sir.
Why we are going for security group?
Yes, sir.
Sir, can we add the custom port for HTTP request?
Yeah, yes, you can add it. You can add it. In the last weekend, sometime I think 2 days, last weekend, I conducted one workshop for the Spring Boot AWS deployment. Then I configured the port as 9090. HTTP. My server is running on the port number 9090.
Yes.
Yeah, in that workshop I conducted. I covered that topic. Yes, you can configure the custom port also for HTTP. Not only now, why I am configuring the port as 80? My Apache server running on the port number 80. If my Apache server running on the 90 port number, then I need to configure HTTP port with the 90 range. Got it?
Yes. Got it.
Very good. Fine. Click on review and launch. Okay. What is the meaning of review and launch?
To check all the configuration is okay or not.
Whatever the options that you have selected, you just review those options and you confirm it. If you are not sure with these options, can you go back and edit them?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have an edit option?
Yes.
Yes,
Edit
sir.
instance type, edit security group, edit instance details, edit storage, edit tags. For everything, you have an option. One more chance for you to choose your instance. Click on launch. Hey, kya bol raha hai bhai? What is this?
Key pair
Why you want key pair?
for private key generate.
For security purpose. If the key pair is not available, then what is the problem?
We cannot access
Arey
from Linux.
Baba,
Everyone can able to access that.
everyone can access if the key pair is not available.
That is not good for us.
Right now, if my EC2 doesn't have a key pair, then what is the problem?
It is not secure.
It is not secure.
Anyone.
If they know our IP, they can access.
Yes.
If we don't have a key pair, if they know our IP address, they can access our instance, right?
Yes, sir.
So do you want everybody to access your instance?
No.
Guys, remember, we want everybody to access our server, not our instance. You understand my point?
Yes, sir.
We are launching an instance. In that instance, we are installing a server. In that server, we are keeping the application. We want the public to access our server, not our EC2 instance.
Yes.
If they access our EC2 instance, they can corrupt our data or not.
Yes, sir.
If people access our EC2, they will corrupt our data. They can uninstall the server, they can delete our application, they can do whatever they want. I don't want the people to access my instance directly. I want the people to access the server only, which is running in the instance.
Yes.
You got my point?
Yes.
Right.
For that
Now,
we are adding a
how
cheat.
can I protect that? People cannot access my instance directly. Security key. That is a public key and private key. Who will store the public key? Who will store the private key?
Public will store by AWS, right? Private key we will store.
Right, exactly. Now I am choosing existing key pair. I have already created a key pair. I'm selecting that launch instance. Okay, right, guys. Finally, we are able to start one EC2 instance. Finally, we are able to start one EC2 instance. Are you guys clear with this?
Yes.
One EC2 instance is getting started. Why it is not there?
Sir, I think.
Kya hua?
Login.
Just refresh that portal, sir.
कहाँ गया भाई? Right. We got it. My instance is currently initializing. That means it is running. Can I give you a name for the instance now?
Yes.
Yeah. My Linux VM. Can I give it as a my Linux VM? Yes, I have given my Linux VM. Can you go to volumes concept? Guys, volume, did I create any volume? By default, volume is created.
By default, volume is created.
By default, volume is created. What is this volume?
Root volume.
Root volume. So folks, now, who is managing this root volume?
Our instance.
No. AWS user managing or AWS is managing?
AWS is managing.
AWS is managing.
When the root volume will be created?
When you create the instance, it will create the root volume by default.
It will create the root volume by default. What is the path of the root volume? /dev /xvdf. Some path is available for the root volume.
Yeah.
Okay. Root volume is a permanent volume or the root volume is a temporary volume?
Temporary.
Root volume is a temporary volume. So if I store the data in the root volume and if I terminate my instance, my data will be available or my data will be lost?
Lost.
We will lose the data.
If I terminate my instance, the data which is available in the root volume, I am going to lose. Now, can I create an additional volume?
Yes.
Go to EBS volumes, click on create volume. Volume types, several volume types are available. We discussed it. General volume I am going to choose. I want to add 20 GB additional volume. Okay. Now click on create volume. Am I able to create the volume with the 20 GB? Yes. Edit it. My EBS volume 1. my EBS volume 1. Let's save it. I have created one additional volume called EBS volume with a 20 GB space. With a 20 GB space. Do you have a volume ID? Yes, we have a volume ID. In which zone it is created? AP South 1A. AP South 1A, this volume is created. Now go to this volume. Can I attach this volume to the EC2, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Can I attach this volume to the EC2 now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, can you tell me the procedure to attach this volume to EC2?
Right
Go
click on that.
to EC2 dashboard.
After the
Should I go to EC2 dashboard directly, or I need to select from the volumes?
Instance.
Okay,
Yeah,
I have
click on
selected
instance.
instance. Okay, I
Click on
select instance. Action.
No. Here click on storage and we can add it.
Where it is?
Details. The details, security, networking, and storage.
Details, networking.
Yeah, down, sir. Where we can see our public address.
Storage. Okay, yeah, storage is there.
Here
Yeah,
we
volume is available. Volume is
Above we
available.
have
Replace
filter.
root volume. Replace volume.
We have filters, sir.
Oh man. Go
No,
to
sir.
volumes. Go to volumes. Go to volumes.
Old is good.
Select this volume.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
After the action,
Action then.
attach volume.
Attach volume.
Attach volume.
So if you want to attach additional volume to the instance, you should go to volume dashboard or you should go to instance dashboard.
Volume dashboard.
That is what I'm asking. We have created a volume and we want to attach this volume to the EC2. For that, you need to go for the volume dashboard. Okay. Which volume you want to attach? My EBS volume 1. My EBS volume 1. Let's select this. Action. Attach volume. Now it is asking only instances in the same availability zone as the selected volumes are displayed. Now tell me, volumes are regional specific, availability zone specific or not? Availability zone specific. Now, so here I have an instance. I have instance. Okay. Now, can I use this instance to attach?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Instance is running. What is the device name?
SDF.
SDF. Now, can you read this point?
New reduction may rename the device to. Okay, it may change.
It may change, right?
Yes.
Yeah, device name can be changed. So what is the device name that we are getting now?
Dev SDF.
/dev SDF. So now when we connect to the putty, we need to store the data into which device name?
/dev SDF.
/dev/SDF. Okay. Attach volume. Attach volume. Now volume is attached now?
Yes.
Can I say that it is in use?
Yes.
Yes.
Root volume is also in use?
Yes.
Yes.
Additional volume is also in use?
Yes.
So now total, how much data I can store in my EC2?
28 GB.
28 gigabit.
28 GB data I can store. In the 28 GB, how much GB is permanent? How much GB is temporary?
20 is permanent.
Temporary.
20 is permanent and 8 is temporary. Can you work on that? How to store the data to EBS volume through putty?
Yes.
Can you take it? Can you take it as assignment now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Store the data to EC2 using EBS volume through putty. So how to differentiate that? Whether you are storing the data to root volume or you are storing the data to EBS volume?
By using
the instance.
Device
Storing data in EBS means we need to install the server into EBS, right? You are saying?
No. Just some files, man. Just some files. Demo1.txt, demo2.txt, like that. I want to store some additional files into EBS volume.
Oh, we need to create a file. Okay.
Just storing the data means you can store your files, right? File means a data. File means a data. Got it?
Yes,
Guys,
sir.
whatever we discussed so far in the EC2, we are able to revise today. I think today's session is very helpful for you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The biggest service in the AWS is the EC2 only, guys. Now, can you think that remaining services also in the AWS will take this much time?
Yes.
Every service we can complete within 2 days. Yes, 2 days. Route 53, 2 days. RDS, 2 days. CloudWatch, CloudFront, SNS, SQS, SES. The remaining services in the AWS can complete with every service within 2 to 3 days we can complete. But for EC2, can I complete EC2 in 2 days?
No, sir.
No, sir.
More than 2 weeks.
No, it's vast.
Right? It's a vast. There are so many things that you need to do. Now, can you say that you are a AWS engineer without EC2?
No, sir.
Most of the work will be there in which service in the AWS?
EC2.
Because we are launching the servers from here only. Launching the servers, connecting to that server, right? Installing the softwares, managing the security group, managing the volumes, creating the images, setting up the load balancer, setting up the elastic IPs, creating the key pairs, and launching the configurations, creating auto scaling groups. Most of the things are there in the EC2 only. If you learn the EC2 properly, then you can say that you know 30% in the AWS, 30 to 40% in the AWS. If you know the EC2, you can say that 30% of the AWS you know that. All right. So today we completed which topic, guys? We completed volumes concept. What is the next topic for us?
Snapshot.
Elastic IP.
Elastic IP.
इसमें देखो भैया. Snapshot. Do you have any snapshot now?
No.
Can you tell me what is a snapshot? Basically, generally. Can you say screenshot?
Yes, we can say screenshots.
Screenshots, right?
Yeah.
Saving the status of instance.
Snapshot is nothing but taking the backup.
Of
What
which
is a
is used
snapshot?
from the storage.
What is a snapshot? Can you see snapshot in AWS? Can you see snapshot in AWS? Amazon EBS snapshots. Snapshots can be used to create a backup of critical workloads, such as a large database or a file system that spans across multiple EBS volumes and multiple volumes. Amazon EBS snapshots. Okay. Amazon Elastic Block Store Snapshot provides a simple and secure data protection solution that is designed to protect your block storage data such as EBS volumes, boot volumes, as well as on-premises block data. EBS snapshots are a point-in-time copy of your data and can be used to enable disaster recovery, migrate data across regions and accounts, and improve the backup compliance. So what is the meaning of this snapshot now? Can you tell me? Can you understand what is the purpose of EBS? Can you tell me the purpose of snapshot?
For taking the backup files,
images.
Snapshot is nothing but taking the backups. Snapshot is nothing but taking the backup. Okay. So tomorrow we are going to understand what is snapshot and how to work with the snapshot. Okay, guys. Another 2 to 3 days, guys. Mostly 3-4 days. Another 3-4 days I need to complete this EC2 service. Like, we will talk about security group. We know something, but we need to talk some more things about inbound and outbound rules. Elastic IPs, key pairs already we know. Load balancer we know already. Do you know load balancer already?
yes.
Yeah. Now what is the next topic? We need to talk auto scaling. Right?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sir, in the load balancer, I've seen that currently we are using application and network.
Yeah, I will come to that, sir. I will come to that load balancer. There are several types available: application load balancer and classic load balancer, network load balancer. Like, there are several load balancers are available. I will tell you which type of load balancer we need to use. I will cover that point also.
Okay.
Application, network, gateway. There are several classic load balancer. Previous outdated one is also available. We will discuss the types of the load balancers also.
Okay.
Now, tomorrow I'm going to talk about snapshots in the AWS, guys. Very important. Tomorrow I will try to cover snapshots and security groups. Then one day I need for elastic IPs concept. Then one day I need for the load balancer. Already we are able to implement. Theoretically, I need to tell you types of the load balancer. And 2 days I need for auto scaling. So another 4 days we need to complete our EC2 service in the AWS. After the EC2, then we can go for the remaining services available in the AWS. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Actually, one doubt from myself.
Yeah, hi Satya.
Yes, sir. Actually, in volume, by default, root storage is created. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
suppose 2 to 3 days we are storing some data. Then we will create a EBS. Okay. Then suppose we are deleted the instance. Then how we can transport the data means root data to storage means.
No, it is not going to ask you. You have to take care.
Sorry, sir, I'm not getting.
If you are terminating the instance, AWS will not tell you to transfer the data from the root volume to EBS volume. Yes. You need to terminate. You need to take care of that backup. Yes, AWS will not do that automatically.
Okay. How we can do the backup means?
In the snapshots, I will tell you. I will tell you in the snapshots how can we take the data backup.
Okay. Sir. Means before deleting the instance,
we can take that backup. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right, sir. Guys, I think today's session is very helpful. We revised everything. So I'm expecting that everybody practicing the classes. I'm expecting that people are practicing. Yeah.
Yeah, hi sir. This is Venkat. Actually, actually I'm attending this batch, and sometimes my project got started, sir. So sometimes I'm missing the classes. I send the mail to you also.
Sir, are you in the plan 1 or plan 2?
Plan 1, sir. Plan 1.
Yeah, please upgrade. Please upgrade that plan, sir. Please upgrade that plan 2. Okay.
So is there any time to morning batch when it will be going to be
started? Currently my morning slots are busy, sir. I mean, instead of you are waiting for another batch and spending another 3 months, it's better to go for plan 2, right?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah, another why you need to wait for another 2 months to start the batch. If the batch started, again it is going to take another 3 months to complete. और पूरा time waste हो जाएगा आपका.
That's right, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. I will decide and I will send a mail to you.
Yeah,
sure. Thank you,
sir.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
All right. Fine, guys. Are you guys practicing daily? Are you facing any challenges with the practices?
No, sir.
It's good now. Everything is clear for everyone.
Yes, sir. Very clear.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Guys, don't bother about the duration. I want to give you the quality. Don't think that, sir, 2 महीने हो गया, AWS खत्म नहीं हुआ. Do you want to complete the course or you want to complete with the quality? That you have to
complete with quality only.
So
we want quality. You need to get the job with good quality.
Exactly. So I hope that you are realizing that the way that I'm explaining. I think you already attended some classes with other institutes. You can see the difference how our classes are going on.
No, actually, Ashok, I'm also taking a separate class with the company basically provided me. And I'm much sure, Ashok, maybe mostly concept will not be, was not be covered. And thanks to you, yaar. Basically, you provide me a depth knowledge. Thank you, Ashok. Thanks very much, yaar.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
So that we will get 20 lakhs package.
Definitely, sir. Package to aaram se mil jayega, no issue. But practice, don't ignore the practice.
Jobs on only AWS?
Yes, sir. There are some companies who are looking only for AWS engineers. If you know Linux and AWS, then you can get the job on the AWS part.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Right. Guys, so duration for EC2 it is taking more time. You understand that there are several topics are there in the EC2. That's why it is taking more time. Other services will not take this much time. Other people, other trainers may complete EC2 within 3 to 4 days of time. But I am not going to do like that because I want to give you in-depth knowledge. Tomorrow, when you get the job, you should be able to work on your own. You don't need to take anybody help. That is my intention. And when you go for interview, you should be able to explain every concept with confidence. If you want to attend the interviews, you need confidence. If you want the confidence, you need to have a very good knowledge in the subject and practice. That is the reason our courses are taking little time, but no worry. Sometimes I will spend extra on the Saturday and Sunday also. Last Saturday, Sunday, I have taken the classes for that reason only. I don't want to waste much of your time. Because if I cancel the classes, it's not only for your time waste, it's for my time waste also. So I will bother about your duration of the course, guys, don't worry. Some extra classes we will conduct on the weekends so that we can complete the course on time. That is my guarantee. Okay. Chalo, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Fine. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir.